Well, I mentioned at the start, according to the polls, voters are dropping like flies in their support of Anthony Albanese. Now, one man who's been on the hustings already this week is Warren Mundine, Indigenous Forum Director at the Centre for Independent Studies, and Warren joins me now. Warren, really good to see you. Thank you for joining me.
You've
been out this week campaigning for Liberal candidates across New South Wales. What's the feedback you're getting on the ground?
Look, the feedback has been really positive. I've been up through Newcastle, I've been down through Western Sydney and southwestern Sydney and down to the Wollongong. And I tell you what, people are not happy. They're not happy with this government. They're very angry about their cost of living and their electricity bills. And they're very angry about how this country has been divided by this government. It's been wonderful to get out there, meet people, listen to their stories, listen to their issues and their problems, and stand there with the candidates that we need to get elected.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not just the division. We've spoken about the voice referendum before. We're seeing the division play out with anti-Semitism, and it does feel like people have said, yeah, enough is enough, and it's showing in the polls. Now, look, Warren, I want to talk to you about what's happened to you this week, because I guess you've effectively been cancelled. You were meant to speak at the Festival of the Australian Academy of Cinema and Television Arts today, but they cancelled your appearance. Why? What happened?
Well, what happened? This has been 2 months. 2 months ago, I was approached to speak here, talk about Indigenous storytelling, talk about the narratives that Indigenous people do, and from my TV show, from my books, and everything like that. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll help out. I'll do it. And then of course, a day ago, they went and rang me back and said, look, there's some people who don't want to appear on stage with me because I'm a no campaigner, and so we'll have to drop you. And I was, I said, wait a minute. I wasn't going to go there and talk about the referendum or anything. I was just talking about stories. Indigenous people do stories, and people all over the world do stories to make themselves proud of who they are and their country and everything like that. So that's what I was going to talk about. Anyway, they went away and thought about it. Then they come back and they said to me, okay, look, we've already sorted out the Thursday, but come down on the weekend and you can you'll talk on Sunday. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk on Sunday, going to mix and mingle with the crowd on Saturday and Sunday, and put my point of view across.
So let's just get this right. So you were told you can't speak because you're a no campaigner. Other people on the panel didn't want to have a bar of you because of your views on it, despite the fact that your appearance had nothing to do with the voice referendum. And it's worth mentioning, we did reach out to the awards. We haven't heard back from them yet. But are you a victim of cancel culture? What does it say about free speech in the arts world?
Well, that's the funny thing, the arts, when I was a kid growing up, you go right back to the 60s and 50s and everything like that. The arts were where people had free speech and free expression, and they fought very hard for that to get it and get rid of all this cancel, in banning people and everything like that. And what's happened in the last 10, 15 years, 20 years is now that the arts has been a place where people can't deal with a different point of view. They lay in a fetal position and cry, and they want to cancel other people. That's not what the art's about. The arts is about actually being able to have free speech, free expression, and put your stuff out there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that you were a victim, almost, Warren Mundine, of cancel culture. It's just extraordinary that this has happened, but that's where we are this day and age in this country. Warren Mundine, good to chat to you. Thank you so much for joining me on the show this evening.